Hello, all of my little storms, and welcome back. So I totally almost didn't forget to publish today's chapter for The Art of Chaos. Totally almost didn't forget that. Uh, I literally was about to stream, and I was like, oh. Like, did I publish? Because sometimes what I do is at night, like late at night, I actually publish out it like secretly out at night. But today I decided, I was like, nah, I'm gonna just do it today. So the next chapter of The Art of Chaos is out. If you want to type in either command comic in chat, or if you want to go down on YouTube in the link down in the description, you'll find my website link. You click on that and it'll be under comics. So and you can read the next chapter that is available right now. It is I will put a warning out there. It does deal with somebody asking to possibly be self-unalived, so just a word of warning on that. It is a little bit sensitive. I do have, there are some warnings on it. It is not a happy story, and I will continue to reiterate that. It is not a happy story. I am shooting myself very much in the foot because chapter 3 is like 24 pages. For the most part, with most of my comic, it's been like maybe about 12 to 16 pages per chapter. And then I go, nah, screw that, 24. But there's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking. So I'm gonna try and break down the text as much as I can, so it's not like a block of text. Because I don't like that in comics. But so I'm gonna try and get it down as much as I can to be able to do it right. But yeah, so there is that. That's the big thing today. It's the big thing. And yeah, there are some things to talk about. Things have happened in my life, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Some things are a little bit more personal than others, but it's not like I'm doxing myself here. Because I feel like some people might be dealing with these situations. So there's a few things that are gonna discuss while we are drawing, because I want to kind of do it when we're drawing. So yeah, but I just wanted to first put out the comic is out. Chapter 2 is available. I'm sorry it was such a rush post. I have been dealing so much right now with chapter 3 and getting it all set up and prepared to start going in with the coloring, because basically I had to do all the 3D. I got a lot of interiors, so there might be some things that you read in chapter 2 and you're gonna be like, why is the consistency not there for the backgrounds? Just don't ignore it. I had to rebuild a lot of stuff with 3D assets, so it is gonna look a little different, but a little bit more structured. Sometimes that's gonna happen in the comic. You're gonna just see how it improves. How I start out with it is gonna be very different than probably how the end is gonna look. So yeah. I But I hung out with a friend yesterday, a very good friend, who is going to be appearing in the comic because they are. Who they gave me permission to talk shit about them when I'm drawing their character. I'll do that next week. So if you want to see their character, they'll be drawn next week. So they did allow me to talk shit. They actually do follow me on Twitch, but they don't come in anymore. They don't come in at all. I have to make sure don't dox me, but they understand. They understand how all this stuff works. They're not that weird. There's other friends that could be weirder. But yeah. So without any further ado, I'm just gonna switch. We're gonna just switch right over to drawing and talking about some drama. And I'm gonna emphasize, this is my opinion on things that have happened. I do not do research on this stuff. I'm not an in-depth research or news person. I just talk about stuff that I am interested in. And I'm even thinking for when my 2.0 comes into be, I might do a segment of just chatting where we just chat about random stuff, or I do like live essay lectures or like live video essays about topics and other things that I understand or do know about or have done research for. Are the yippies not working again? What is wrong with tits? Are they not? What the hell? Okay, we had this problem last time. I know how to fix it. I know how to fix it, but that's so weird that it's doing this again. Because basically what you have to do is you have to basically delete the sounds and then you have to add them back again, which is so interesting to me that it's been doing this. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what's wrong. I have to look it up of why this is acting this way. Hold on, I can't read chat or anything, by the way, so if you guys are talking and stuff, I can't see any of it. just so you all know. No, what was it? Is it? No, it's not that. What was it? Oh, in here. There you go. I don't know why it be doing this. That's just... Because it's mainly on the ones that I have imported. The ones that are here are fine. Which, to me, seems a little fishy. I don't know why. Yeah, I have to do this on every single one of the plushies. I don't even think I use mainly any of the rest of these plushies, but we just... It's really weird. I don't know why it's been buggy. This is the second time this has done this. On stream, too. This is just so bizarre. If anyone knows why it's doing this, I think, yeah. I'm gonna be honest, part of me kind of wants to part ways with the Twitch integrated throwing system.
Hi, Pug.
Hi. Part of me wants to part ways with the Twitch integrated throwing system, because if it's going to do this every single time that I stream, it means that I have to boot up stream about 30 minutes before, test everything, and if it doesn't work, I have to redo it all, which is a little concerning that I have to do that. But yeah. I hope that it works now. And if it blasts out my ears, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Does it work now? Yeah. Okay, please do it in limiting, because I can apparently not edit the sound of how loud those yippies are. So please no spamming. Oh my gosh. Like, seriously, this is the second time that this has done it. It did it on Sunday. Yeah, it did it on Sunday. And now it's doing it today. I'm gonna be honest, it's more the yippies. No.
If we lose the throwing system, they will still have George.
Yeah, true. But then, George, you won't be able to throw anything at me. Isn't that what you want, though? Don't you want that, George? You want to be able to throw stuff at me? Oh my gosh, I'm clicking on everything else. Hello. Okay, I turned it down on my end, so hopefully the yippies aren't too loud on my end. Because they are... It's... Oh my god. Okay, no, everything is loud on my end. Alright. Please use it sparingly. Please don't RIP my ears. Anyways, since some of you guys are in here, let me just do this.
Better do it while I still have a chance.
Does that work? Okay, no. Woohoo! The chapter 2 of the comic is out. I know I've been spamming it a lot. I do that every time that I'm gonna release something. I've been so focused on working on chapter 3 that I literally almost forgot to publish chapter 2! But I finished chapter 2 early, so that's why I was like, oh, well, it's already set up and done. It's like, yeah, but bitch, you have to publish it out so people can actually read it. So people can actually click on the buttons. Because I hadn't set up the redirection of the buttons. I didn't do that. So I had to quickly do it before stream started. Look, I have to do this all on my own. I wish I had like at least like a manager or somebody so that they could do it for me so I could just focus on fucking making the comic. But I can't. Anyways, with all that craziness over and done with, let's move over to actually doing some art, because that's what I was going to do before apparently someone informed me that the yippies were broken. So oh, let me type something. The Twitch integrated throwing system broke again. Yippee! And with that, we're moving over. Oh my goodness. Yippee! Yippee! So we are doing ArtFight still, because technically, yeah, technically, this week is kind of like the last, oh my gosh, my dog. Today's the last week of ArtFight, so if there were those that didn't join in this time around, you know, it's okay. I will be participating next year, and I'm gonna be doing like the thing of, we'll just do it on art streams, because it gives me more time to like work on comic stuff and everything like that. So I'm able to do more comics, especially like if I'm going to be making longer chapters, because chapter 3 is 24 pages. Just to kind of tell you what 24 pages are of a chapter, that's basically, you know how long mangas are? Like one chapter of a manga? Yeah, I'm basically doing the equivalent of that.
I hate having uneven rewards. I will do yippee 2 more times.
Okay, yippee however much you want. Hello, puppers. Hello. My puppy wants cuddles, apparently. But anyways, so we're gonna be drawing Mr. Fox and, and Vera. Did you get the yippies out of your system? Good. And Vera. I'm just sketching out Mr. Fox, and then we're probably gonna go back to Vera and do their coloring, and then come back to Mr. Fox and do his coloring and rendering. So we'll have two. Because I realized that we can only really do 2 in 3 hours. But speaking about art stuff, speaking about VTubing stuff, I asked this on Twitter, but I want to kind of see what you guys think as well. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, what do you guys think about this situation? So there was a situation. I did a chair. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Ow. Oh, on my end, they're so loud. Why is it so loud? Why is it so loud? You guys don't understand how loud that was. Ow. Yeah, the Twitch integrated throwing system broke again, and now the sounds are super loud, and there's nothing I can do. Sorry, it's okay. You didn't know. I have to put a thing. The wall ching ching. My ADHD is distracting me. I'm trying to talk about shit. Okay, so remember how I talked about Kat Liente, who is a stream advice giver? she's now relabeled herself as a drama content creator. Oh. Gotta do a dance break. All right. So there has been some hot water that has been happening. I'm not going to talk about the drama that Kate was exactly talking about. But Caliente is a advice content creator, and I did like some of her advice in the past. I think that a lot of her advice nowadays is not really helpful or useful to bigger or like smaller content creators. I think it's like better for like if you're a medium or bigger size content creator. And the reason that I say that is just because she does give good advice about warnings or other things, but she has slowly been starting to shift her content to more being like drama tubery, and I'm like, I kind of don't like that. I mean, I do, because there's some stuff.
Intrusive thoughts, yippee.
Intrusive thoughts, yippee! Yeah, my intrusive thoughts are just screaming yippies. But she was talking about a situation, she's mainly, okay, first off, Caliente is very much a flesh tuber, okay? She's the IRL person, right? So she doesn't use a VTuber model or anything like that. And she's talking on VTuber subjects. And I don't care if people talk about VTuber stuff or VTuber drama or anything within VTubing, as long as you understand what you're talking about, right? Like, you have to have some notion and understanding of what you're talking about or discussing before really giving an opinion. Like, sometimes I give an opinion on things I really don't understand, but if I find out that that opinion was actually really bad because I didn't have any more context, I do back it up. You know, I back up and say, you know what, I was wrong, and I have changed my opinion on the subject. Like, that's how I am personally. Because I'm open-minded to those situations. Whereas Kat made a video talking about a lolly group, and it seems that Kat does not understand what a lolly exactly is, because it's not children. Yes, some lollies are children, but not all of them are. Lolly is more of a body type. In my personal purview of, like, the simplest way to explain what a lolly is lolly is more of a body type / character style than it is, like, anything to more of 18 plus suggestiveness. However, it seems that Kat only has seen it as 18 plus content, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, yes, there are some things that are like that. I don't vibe with that sort of stuff. If you draw that stuff, that's your prerogative. I don't care. Like, you know, at the end of the day, people can draw and say what they want, and that's what I believe in. You can do what you want, right? So Kat had, like, a pretty interesting, like, view on the situation, and hold on, I don't know if I want to elongate this nose or not. We'll see. But Kat basically went on further and said that, basically suggesting Twitter is an adult. Oh my gosh. No, I think it's more of, it seems to me that Kat does not really understand much of the VTubing community. She looks at it and says, ow. She looks at it and says, I can make content out of that. And and I've looked at her videos. She has been really blowing up ever since she started doing that, because nobody's looking at her for her advice content anymore, because she's already said everything that she needs to say, because there's only a certain point where you can really make advice content. And I'm like, well, what she could have done if she wanted to continue on with advice content is maybe analyze and look at VTubers and see how to help them, how to help VTubers specifically with how to apply it to that. Like how to apply her advice to VTubing or like to particular niches. Like if she did that, I think her content would have been fine. But because she had only been getting, she wanted, yes, that is, so what some people are saying is that she may be doing it for money reasons, to get more money, or just clout in general. VTubers don't understand VTubing community. That is also correct, Pug. That is true. A lot of people in the VTubing community sometimes do not understand, like, the VTubing community. So I think it's more of like a it's a bigger problem than we think it is. But like for the most part, it's just like I think with Kat in particular, like I have watched some of her videos previously, but and especially like when she was starting to do the drama stuff, and I was like, oh cool, she's kind of like doing this stuff, you know, and she's even been talking about making a VTuber model or getting a VTuber model for herself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going down the Pokimane path now. If you guys don't know, Pokimane made a VTuber model at the height of VTubing, and a lot of people shat on her for it, and that was not fun. We forgot we are in a medium, not actually a single community. Yeah, I think the VTubing community is just another way to be a content creator without us showing our face. Same with PNG tubers. Like, that's what our thing is. That's what makes us different than other content creators. But other than that, we're pretty much very similar to a lot of content creators because we have similar niches and things that we might discuss or talk about in a way. So, like, you know, there are VTubers that do what Kat Liente does with being advice content, like advice VTubers. There's other ones that are just straight up comedians like me. You know, there's a lot of different things, and just being a VTuber isn't like the main thing. It's just VTubing is a way of displaying who you are as a person instead of just maybe being a disembodied voice. Some people like being disembodied voices and just being like that. So there is that. So there's different ways and avenues that people can make their content. You okay, Peppers? You're like snorting over there. But at the end of the day, like, you know, we're all still content creators here. But the reason I'm talking about Kat is because she went on a little bit of a tirade in a way. I would say a quote tirade where, one, she didn't really understand what she was talking about. Now, the thing that she didn't understand what she was talking about was there is Lollipuff, a lolly VTuber company, or corporation. Like, you know, they're an indie corporation. They're very small. There's only like basically 5 members. No, my puppers does not have a cold. She's got allergies. She's got them seasonal allergies. But anyways, back to Kat Liente. So she basically didn't really understand, I believe. She has iterated in the past that she doesn't understand what a lolly is, and then proceeds to make an entire video about a lolly VTubers. That, by the way, none of the people in this little group are under the age of 18. They're all 20 and older. And they can do whatever they want. If I don't like them, I can always block them and mute them and move on with my life. And that's what I do sometimes. If I don't want to see or interact with that person's content, I just block them and I move on with my life. Because at the end of the day, I don't need to frustrate myself with it. And even I'm starting to think of maybe blocking Kat because I no longer want to see or interact with her stuff because of what she said and what she's doing. And by the way, she has not stopped doing the drama content and everything that she's doing. And I'm like, she is burying herself in her career. Oh, posture check reading. Thank you for making sure I don't turn into a shrimp. Maybe I should have that as a sound redeem for that posture check. Thank you for not turning me into making sure I don't turn into a shrimp. But basically, you know, I don't mind if people outside of the VTubing community talk about the VTubing community as long as you understand what you're talking about, right? Like, you have to have some sort of respect and understanding, like, because at the end of the day, we are also content creators, you know? And yes, sometimes we do need to be called out on stuff, but it's like, why do we need to be called out just because of how our VTuber model looks? Because at the end of the day, it's the person's decision on how they want to look and what they want to do with their life. It isn't up to me to come in here and literally tell them, no, you can't make your VTuber model look like that. Me as a VTuber modeler and rigger, I might not want to do those models, but there's other people that would do it. As individuals, not a group. Well, they together made, so this lolly VTuber group, they all agreed, I guess, that they were going to do this and all of this, but they made it, it was their decision. No one's being forced. No one's doing all this. You know, they are making a community that is 18 plus. They're all 18 plus. I have no issues with it. Honestly, there's no issues. Like, some of the, like, toddler play, which basically is pretending to be a toddler even though that you're an adult, like, I don't care. It's to each their own. You follow the rules of the platform which you make content. I mean, it does. It does. They're all like fully clothed, everything. Like, you know. So like they're, you know, yes, your model does unfortunately need to abide by the rules of where you're going to be streaming, but like the models themselves, like, fine, you know, at the end of the day, it's lolly, like, you know, that's what they want to be, and that's what they want, you know, and that's the kind of people they want to be and what they want to create with their content. Fine, at the end of the day, it's their decision. They're adults. I won't do anything to harm them. And all of the harassment they have been getting and shit, like, look, they're not out here doing terrible stuff. They are just making their own content and doing it with themselves. And they literally say, do not be a minor in my space. This is 18 plus only. They clearly state that multiple times. So they do not want to be anywhere near actual kids. So, because some people have been claiming that they are interested in children. That is not the case. They literally have reiterated multiple times that they are 18 plus only. Harassment is not acceptable. Exactly. Like, you can say that you don't like it and then just block and walk away. That's all you have to do. And I think it's just more of, in the digital sphere, it's become a little bit more accepted to not do that. Like for some reason, it's like, no, you should say why you hate it. It's like, no, I don't have to explain anything. It's like, I have personal reasons to why I don't like it. I block them, I move on. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do with Kat. I don't want to see her stuff anymore. I'm gonna probably do it with her. But Kat's views have plummeted dramatically. Because in a way, like, people are not gonna accept her in the community after, like, basically campaigning a harassment campaign against these people just for making an adult decision and doing their own thing that they want to do, that they decided on. And literally, like, the girls, the people behind the VTubers literally came out and said, like, we didn't do anything, because Kat was saying like, oh, they were making hate campaigns against other VTubers. No, those VTubers were making hate campaigns against them. So it was the opposite that was happening. So yeah. If I want drama on miserable news, I would read the mainstream feed. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's just like, there's always stuff that's going on in the VTubing community, but most of it is coming from people just wanting to create drama for no reason other than because they're bored. That's personally how I feel. And, you know, and I've even said, like, technically, if I wanted to, I could 100% create drama right here, right now, and would get thousands of views because so many people will be, like, interested in it. But do you want to know what I do? I don't do that. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to hurt that person, which they don't deserve, and I know I'm going to get hurt, and I don't deserve that. And none of the people around me deserve that. Because I know that it's better to not do that, right? That's why I started, like, having more questioning civil discussions, because I think that we need to open that more of like, hey, there's this, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think? Other than just like having an argument, like, let's have a civil discussion. I hope that you guys do like when I post out those kinds of tweets. It seems like we have a very nice and like interesting talk sometimes to hear your guys' different points of views. Maybe I should do that more. Like, I don't want to cover drama all the time because I'd rather work on like other stuff, but every now and then I think like with the bigger stuff like this, it kind of needs to be discussed and talked about because it also reiterates like how I feel and my boundaries within my own stream as well sometimes. So, you know, it's all working together, you know? I just... What super baffles me mainly about Kat though is like she says all this stuff and then literally has on her Twitch, like in her stream, like up at the corner, saying that she wants to get a VTuber model, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm scared to do such things because someone might drop dead of shock. Yeah, I think like, you know, in discussing and asking, that's why I clearly say I want a civil discussion. I'm not gonna argue with you. If you drop in and you like try and create a whole entire argument, I'm not gonna comment. I'm not gonna comment on your stuff. I'm just gonna mute you. I'm literally just gonna mute it because I'm like, I don't want to argue. I just want to have, so it might be like asking like, what's the difference between an argument and a civil discussion? A civil discussion is like, okay, I hear you. Here's my opinions. And then that's like, you know, not being aggressive or assertive or saying, I'm wrong. This is why I'm wrong. Like, that's aggressive. That's an argument. A civil discussion is more of like, I can, like, you know, like, I see where you're coming from. Here's my point of view. And then I can go, okay, I can see that. I understand what you're doing. Mainly because I promote taking responsibility. Yes, I think, like, you know, that's another thing, you know, taking responsibility of stuff. But, like, I want to, like, I mostly want people to start in the VTubing community, especially, to have more civil discussions, and also just the internet, to remember what civil discussions are. Because I feel like people need to be reminded of that. It's okay to talk about opinions in a safe, comfortable environment. Oh my gosh, the lawn people. And you know what? Some people are not going to agree with you. And you know what you should do? Accept that people don't agree with you. Some people are just not going to. And it's just how you have to do.
I want chaos and popcorn.
So you pick chaos and popcorn. You know what? Let's segue over to something else. Let me just like mark this for highlighting purposes. I don't know if I will say this much. I talk a lot sometimes about drama stuff, and then I like make it for possibly becoming a highlight and turning into like a separate video. And then I don't do it. And the reason being is because I decide that I'm like, I don't want to create that content. I might talk about it on stream, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna take it and make it into further content. So just know, like, sometimes if I talk about drama stuff, it's only for specific things. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I'm just talking, and I can talk about whatever I feel like talking about for the day. I play with my opinions, I put it out there, and it's done. Right? Cool. Awesome. Now, moving on. Speaking about popcorn. I went and saw Twisters. Twisters revitalized my belief. If you want something about drama. Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're changing. Have Merpug. Oh my god, I have Merpug. Oh my gosh, yeah, Merpug was really cute. I liked that. I didn't see who drew it, but that was cute. That was very cute, Pug. You look like a very snazzy snazzy bird. Sorry. Wait, does this character have long hair? He kind of does. Oh yeah, he has it long in the back. It started with me suggesting a reverse mermaid. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Make sure that he's very pointed. Hold on. I'm like going back and forth turning this on and off again because I'm trying to figure out how like any of the hair works. Oh, it's saving. It's saving. Also, if you guys hear anything in the back, it's gardeners, and I'm sorry, I apologize. There's nothing I can do. I'm actually surprised they're here. Sometimes they're not. Da 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 da. I hear no gardening. Oh, okay, good. There's one time, I think it's only when I'm talking, if they're close, you can kind of hear it. Alright, I think that's it on Mr. Fox. So let's save that. But, Twisters. Twisters has revitalized it has revitalized my belief that Hollywood can actually still make a good movie. So if you don't know what Twisters is basically, I think it's more of a sequel / remaking of Twister, the movie Twister. If you don't know what Twister is a movie about people and natural disasters. Mainly about people. It's a story about people, mainly. Sorry, there's like a... They're blowing the leaves. There's a leaf blower literally right next to my window. Excuse me, can you go? So I can talk to you about Twister. But Twister is an old, as the Gen Z would call
Hugs
it.
bonking will have no boundaries, no mercy. The lewd prudes will face judgment.
Yeah. But anyway, so... Oh, this is the other character we're going to be working on. So I'm going back and forth between these two. So Twister, when it came out, was... The plot... The entire plot of the movie of Twister is... two groups of storm tracers trying to get the inside data of how a twister works and functions, or a tornado functions, right? like, you know, getting all the data of the wind currents and all this sort of stuff, like all of that, right? And to better understand a tornado, so that then they could take that and go to experts, so that then experts can be able to better warn people when a tornado is happening, or when a tornado would land. So basically to help in advancing the alarms, so that then people had more time to be able to get to safety, right? And that was basically the entire plot of the movie, right? And of course, like, not everything works out, you know, they have to get to certain stuff and all of this other things, right? Which is fine. But the thing that made it important, and again, it is a Spielberg movie, so the thing that made it really important was that there was a good character balance between characters and interaction of characters. Uncovering tech copy. Oh yeah, that's also true a little bit there with Twister. A little bit, yeah. If you've watched Twister, you kind of understand that tech copyright situation. Because, yeah. But the main point of Twisters was the two main characters had divorced, and so it's dealing with them and how they used to be, and that they used to do like these storm chasings together in order to figure out and do all this stuff. And then he left. So they divorced, and he left the city, and, you know, to the city, and, you know, he's now a big city boy, right? And then he comes back to, you know, finalize the divorce with her. And throughout it, they just kind of have, like, conversations and connections between each other. And then you can also see the dynamic. Like, it feels like, you know, so much of, instead of this being a movie, it feels like I'm watching a documentary almost about these two people and their friends that are around them and the community around them, right? Because it makes it feel more like people, like they are real people trying to do something good, right? With trying to figure out this Twister stuff. And then with Twisters, it basically piggybacks off of that, continuing it on, and kind of suggesting or like making a highlight that what happened in Twister did happen in the world of Twisters. So like that was like years ago, and now it seems like the technology for understanding a Twister is still there, because they have the machine called Dorothy. Dorothy is like the main thing that has all these little sensors in it. Basically Dorothy was like the main point of this like machine thing, and it was like a machine that was
the plan.
Like a
we
cylinder.
Send Pug into the Twister.
It was like a cylinder like this, and it opened up and it had like a bunch of circles that it had a bunch of balls. Yeah, it had balls that would fly into the Twister. And then that would be that would get sensor data and wind speed and all of that great stuff, so that then people could be able to properly measure the inside speeds and winds of a Twister, which I thought was really cool. And eventually storms and everything became like a big thing for me. I thought that stuff was so interesting, so I hyperfixated it on a lot. So it's very interesting that now I'm a storm deity VTuber on the internet, right? But I haven't watched Twister, the first one, in a while, so I need to go back and kind of rewatch it a little bit. But the main point was not really this man, it was man versus nature, which is very rare to kind of see nowadays in movies, but also just man versus man. So basically it's the idea of conflicts with writing stories, that it's not just like, you know, you can't just have people versus people, because that's not going to make an interesting, compelling story sometimes. Because if it's always people versus people, it's going to get boring after a while, because, like, you know, you have to come up with different ways of why people are fighting against each other. But, you know, you could do, like, Like my comic has everything: man versus nature, man versus self, and man versus man, which is like the three biggest, like the main ways of how to create conflict. And conflict does not mean actual fighting. Conflict just means, when you're writing something, conflict just means something of tension between two things. So in Twisters, there's the tension between the group and the people. And then there's the tension between these people versus these twisters and these tornadoes that are happening and the devastation that it causes. I highly recommend, if you haven't watched Twister, to definitely go and watch Twister. It is a good movie. It's a Spielberg movie. It's always good if it's a Spielberg movie. Spielberg also made Jurassic Park and all of that. So go and definitely check it out. It's really good. If you haven't seen Twisters, I would, definitely watch Twister, and then you'll understand most of what happens in Twisters. They do change it a little bit. The story is kind of similar plot-wise, but the characters are pretty good. The character storytelling is still pretty good. It is a different director. It's not Spielberg that's directing it, but it's a nod to it, and honestly shows me that Hollywood can actually make good movies that have good character connections that actually are pretty solid. So I'm like, finally, this is what I want in movies. So, but yeah. Oh, I just realized I'm using the wrong brush to block this out. Oh, and the ads are going to start in a minute. If you want to play 3-minute ads, you can. If not, there is going to be a 2-minute and 30 ad that will play instead, which eventually will change to being 3 minutes. But it's like, if you want to push it now, you can push it now, or you can push it later. Yeah, I gotta make them 3 minutes. Eventually they will be 3-minute ads, so at one point. I'm just gonna not talk and kind of start blocking in the art while that ad plays, so then you guys don't miss anything that I'm talking about. Because there is some hot, juicy gossip from my end that I will discuss. Da 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 da. No, I might make this a bit thicker.
The ads are up and Mom can't hear me. I traded the wall paint for modified condiments. She still hasn't figured out the smell.
Is that what that smell is, George? Oh my gosh. George, why? Why? Why, George? And I thought that it was me, George. Gosh. You had me thinking it was me. What a terrible frog you are. Don't. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Trying to block this out. I hope that this is blocked enough. Oh. Aha. You have returned? Well, not everyone else has returned. Has everyone back from ads? If so, I can tell you some stuff. There you go. Actually, the funny thing, this is almost close enough to her skin tone, but we are not doing that. I'm gonna wait until the thing actually pops down saying that the ads are done. The only reason being is because if people are still in the ads, I wouldn't want them to, like, you know, not hear this stuff. Because that's one thing I don't wish upon people. Alright. Hello everyone and welcome back. So, there are some things that had happened, like, I'm not even joking, this happened on Monday. So for those that don't know, even though I've been with Jose for a number of years, I actually have an ex. I do have an ex. They will not be showing up in the comic because I don't want really anything to do with them. We kind of just moved on with our lives. At least I've moved on with my life, and they are just part of my life that I kind of just don't want to relive. They were not a terrible person. They were not anything like that.
We feed them to Pug.
No, they were not a terrible person. They didn't do anything bad. It was just more of, I don't think that we were ever made to really last. And I think the only reason why I literally clung on to them and they clung on to me was because we both needed emotionally supportive people, but neither of us were actually mentally very good. We were both very, very in mentally dark places, and we should not have encouraged each other to be together, because it was just, you know, I was expected to be the mentally emotional person, and I couldn't do that. I needed that in a partner. I needed an emotionally stable partner, and my partner was not that. So we ended up breaking up. And I have not talked to this person in over 2 years. Just to give you like a context to this. I have not talked to this person in over 2 years. I blocked them on everything because I just didn't want to talk to them or be in my life. Again, they were not a horrible person. They were not a terrible person. I just wanted to move on with my life, right? And kind of leave them behind. It happens. That's just how it be, and that's how I approached it. And all of a sudden, by the way, this person doesn't know where I live because they have visited me, and I have not moved from my house. I haven't moved at all. They showed up at my house on Monday. Just out of the blue, showed up at my house, and I'm like, what the heck? They didn't come to do anything or harm me. They came to just ask if I was doing okay, and basically asking if, you know, if they should move on. Like, they came here for like closure because I hadn't talked to them in so long. And I was like, well, I had blocked them and all of that sort of stuff. And so I'm like, I kind of, you know, I moved on with my life, right? And it just seemed like they were still stuck in like 5 years ago, you know? And I was like, my guy, like, no, we're done. We've been done. Just so you know, because you might be like, wait, if you look at the time, you were still with your boyfriend when you were with Jose, because Jose and I have been together for almost 4 years. No, I broke up with him. And I was kind of talking with him, like still talking with him. We had broken up I had broken up a year before I had met Jose. So, and I just didn't want, you know, I didn't want him, and I just ended up stopped talking to him when I got to college and everything like that. So I ended up just not talking with him anymore, and then he just showed up at my place, no rhyme, no reason, and that happened. I of course didn't tell him anything about like what I did or what I'm doing or anything like that, because the last thing that I kind of want is for him to kind of come into my Twitch community or VTubing community, like where I am. I don't want him here. And not to say that he wasn't a bad person. It's just he reminds me of some times in my life that was really bad, like really, really emotionally terrible for me. And I've kind of been cutting out a lot of people that are from that time. Not to say that many of them were terrible. It's more of they're a constant reminder of some terrible things that had happened in my life that I don't want to really remember. Because who I was back then is very different than who I am right now. I was very much like quiet, very reserved, didn't talk to anybody. I just did whatever anybody told me to do. I have since grown from that and become a lot better. So yeah, that's some things that happen. And you know what, that's gonna happen sometimes, where like people from your past are gonna show up even if you don't want them to. The good thing is that he just wanted closure, and we both have moved on with our lives. So at least it was very civil. It was very good, and nothing bad happened. I would be more concerned and more worried if he had come for other reasons. But the thing is, I am very much bigger than him. He is like built like a toothpick, and I could probably punch him in the nuts pretty easily. So that's good. Yeah, like I hope that they have moved on and are good and everything like that, you know? But it did rattle me a little bit. It rattle me, and it still rattles me because I'm like, now I'm like kind of scared to open the door now, because I'm like wondering if it's them. Thankfully, no, it's not, you know, but like it's just like, you know, it's just really spooked me a little bit, because I'm just like, shit. but yeah, you know, there's nothing I can really do about it, right? Unless I move, but me and what money? I can't move. Speaking about moving, actually, one of my dearest and greatest friends dropped on me the other, because we met up yesterday, and they dropped a bombshell that they're moving away to the East Coast. And I'm like, because where I live, it's very expensive. And so they're moving away because they can't really afford here, and I can understand that. I'm not gonna say where they're moving to. I'll just say East Coast. But like, the thing though is like, you know, I've always the place where she's moving to is someplace I actually do want to probably check out at one point later on in my life. So it's like, you know, I could always go over there and visit her, and she'll always come over here for holidays and stuff like that. So we'll hang out then. But it is gonna be different because she lives like only a few, like 5 minutes away from me, and now it's gonna be like a whole entire continent away, you know? Well, not a continent, but on the other side of the continent, right? But I'm gonna be honest, like it's hard dealing with people, but you know what? They need to move on with it, a lot of things of moving on, and I hope wherever she goes that she does really well for herself. I will say this much: if she meets somebody out there, bro, I'm flying out there as soon as possible. She meets somebody out there, she goes get married. I'm like, you better invite me. I don't know how I'm gonna get out there. I'll save up as much money as possible to get out there. But yeah, a lot of people, you know, moving around and stuff like that, because you're, you know, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, it looks like even her hair is the same color as her skin. I might lighten her hair a little bit just to differentiate between her face and her skin and her hair. It's very, very one note. But yeah. So lots of things going on in a lot of my personal life, which I don't mind being. Some people don't like when you're being over personal, but I kind of do in a way, because I feel like, you know, it humanizes me a little bit, you know? I'm not just a VTuber on the internet. I'm a person too. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Actually, you know what the funny thing is? I can just do this. Because I'm gonna be honest, it's like mainly all the rest of this needs to be colored white. Boop. There we go. Ah. There we go. But yeah.
We are all camarada here.
Camarada. Man. I have noticed that it seems that on TikTok and YouTube, a lot more people are starting to like the more personal stuff, which is interesting. I don't know why that's happening, but hey, you know what? That's how it be. But yeah, a lot of people are moving on with their lives, and you know what? That's just kind of how it be sometimes. And again, there's nothing like I can really do. I want to do it like a little bit lighter than that. Is that like a... I want to do it like at least a little bit of a noticeable difference. There we go. Yeah. And then I want to do this. I'm like trying to block in all the colors, so excuse me as I might talk and then stop talking a little bit. There we go. Now I need to fix this. I will say though that with everybody like moving on, it kind of feels like I'm very stagnant in what's happening with my life. But the other thing is too, is like, I know like things might change for me like later on in my life. You know, I'm creating my comic, but like we don't know how much further I can be able to really do it, and it might have to end up being that I might have to stop working on it, and I might have to stop streaming because I need to go and actually get like a good or better job, or like I would need to stop the comic because I would need to be taking more commissions to be able to make money and all of that sort of stuff. And honestly, right now I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm gonna be doing with my life very much. I know like streaming brings me, I'm not getting a whole lot of money from streaming. I'd love to, but at the end of the day, like, I know how everyone is and how everything is with life and everything, and it's just like, I wish universal basic income was a real thing that I could do, because then it's like I wouldn't have to be stressing out on giving up so much that I enjoy and love doing in order just to go and work a dead-end job just to be able to live and basically waste my life away. And yeah. Sorry, today is gonna be really depressing. Sorry with the depression. But it's like it makes me realize that a lot of people are moving on with their lives and what they can do. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a person. I do not think I can work really well in a job environment, because schooling and everything has burnt me out so badly from being in that kind of environment that I don't know how I would be able to successfully adjust to it. That's how I feel when it comes to jobs. And, I might be making like a whole lot of money right now with streaming, but, I just want to keep going at it, see how long I can until I need to do something about it. And like it needs to, I need to change it or fix it around or do something like that, so there is that. But, I hope like a little bit that my comic maybe takes off and I can do something with it. I was thinking about opening up a Patreon, but I don't know again, because like there is some like 18 plus art that I have drawn that I haven't posted yet, and I'm like, I might just post it up there on Patreon. It'll just be like art only area, but then I'm like, yeah, but then I'd have to draw constantly, and I don't have the time to be drawing a bunch of stuff to be able to keep up with Patreon, to be able to do with my stuff, to be able to do, like, I would have to stop streaming in order for it to really work. Because again, it's like I'm the only person doing this, and it's like I wish I had a team, because if I had like at least one other person to take stuff off of my plate, that would be so much more helpful. Like, and that one person, the only thing that they would need to do is literally just like, post up stuff that needs to get posted up. Like, or gets, post up like schedule, post up like announcements of things, like the more professional posting kind of stuff, and then edit and make clips and highlights or something like that, and edit down videos. That's it. That's all they would do. They would just basically be doing like more of the editing and promotional side, so that I can strictly focus on doing art stuff, because doing all of it is really fucking hard and really fucking tiring. Because a lot of people don't talk about how tiring it is. It's tiring to be a content creator, but on top of that, like, doing a bunch of other stuff. Because I have to be my own manager, I have to be my own product manager, I have to be my own, like, marketing team, I have to be my own social media manager, I have to be my own editor, I have to be my own, my own merch organizer, like artist and designer. I have to be my own everything, and it's just not, it's not good. It's not good. It's very, very sad, especially when you're a smaller one. And again, I'm not complaining, it's more of, here's the thing, here's the situation, it is very hard, it is not as easy anymore. It is very much difficult now. But I'm gonna keep posting stuff. I'm gonna keep doing this stuff until I can't anymore. And when I can't, well, either I'm gonna go on hiatus, or if I really feel like I can't come back to it, I might have to graduate. And I don't want to do that, which is one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to graduate. I don't want to leave this, but I might have to, and that's like the long and short of it. I kind of want to post maybe something up about it and have like a Google Doc about it. Not to like call out, like, the Google Doc is not a call out post. It is like very much here is everything that I'm dealing with as an individual, so people can kind of understand a lot of what it takes to be a content creator and the struggles that come with it. So basically just like a whole entire thing of it. And maybe I should do something about that, of like making a video essay about it. Maybe I should make that a video, just talking and discussing about like it, because I think like a lot of people don't talk about it as in depth as they mainly need to. At least most of the people that I've seen, that I've watched, I believe have not talked about it in depth. They just kind of like say like, yeah, this is just kind of how it is, but they don't talk about the intense and deep struggles that can come from it. Like, the reason that a lot of YouTubers and other people are leaving after 10 years is because once you get to 10 years, like, you are so tired of making shit. You're so tired of it. But also, like, you grow a lot in those 10 years. So once you get to 10 years, you're like probably big enough by that point to where you're just like, you kind of just feel like tired of creating your content sometimes. Some people get tired of creating their content. Some people get tired from dealing with all of the community, in a sense of they kind of get tired of all of like the backlash, the problems, and all the other stuff and drama shit that you deal with on a constant daily basis. People accusing you of doing stuff when you didn't do it, like that kind of stuff. Like, people, when you get that big, that's how it is. Even I understand. Like, I'm gonna have to grow very much thicker skin when I get to that point, because there are gonna be people that are gonna be hyper analyzing everything. Let me tell you, the only people I talk to is literally Jose and myself in the mirror. Like, if anyone comes out like later on and saying like, you were contacting minors, I'd be like, what the heck are you talking about? Maybe I replied on a comment to somebody, but that's probably about it. I'm gonna be honest. It's just crazy out there. And like, once you get a giant, you know, when you get bigger, you get scrutinized more. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know what? I don't care if I get bigger or not, because I know either way, even if I'm small, even if you're smaller, you get scrutinized. So I'm just like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, I guess. As long as you're a content creator, you're gonna get scrutinized. That's just how it is. And a lot of people don't realize that. When you put yourself out there, there are gonna be people that are gonna criticize you and what you say and what you do. No matter what you do. You can just be sitting here doing art and people will criticize you. So there's a lot of a variety of different things that could happen. As you can see, I'm slowly starting to drain. The heat is coming and I can feel it, and it's tiring me out. I just spat on my screen. But anyways. But I am slowly starting to think, like, for the future of what I want to do. And I will say this much. If I get, like, I'm, like, slightly starting to think about getting a Patreon. But at the same time, I'm just, like, looking at it. And I'm like, but I already have a Ko-Fi. I don't really need a Patreon. But the thing is that Ko-Fi, a lot of people just use to take commissions on and do that sort of stuff, and the market shop. But Patreon is where you get like people actually subscribing to you and like doing that. I don't know why that is. But the other thing is too is that I want to post, like, I want to create some more like NSFW content. Again, not a whole lot. It'll be like once in a while. But the problem with Patreon in particular is I feel one issue with Patreon is people have more of a demand for you to be posting up stuff more monthly than not. And guess what? There's gonna be some months where I probably won't be able to do anything. I'd say the only thing with the Patreon in particular is, like, you might get early access to reading a few pages of the comic before the comic releases. You know, you might get access to that. Maybe you might get access to more upcoming exclusive characters before they actually debut in the comic, you know? Like, I could do that sort of stuff. And maybe creating, like, some exclusive wallpapers that you can download. And that's probably about it for, like, the Patreon. Which, by the way, I could also do on the Ko-Fi. So it's like, I could do that, but on the Ko-Fi. The only problem is that I can't do the NSFW work. Ko-Fi doesn't like that. So that is, like, the only reason why I'm, like, thinking about the Patreon is only because of that. But I'm, like, thinking about it, and I'm like, The one thing is, I know that a lot of VTubers sometimes with their Patreons have, like, 18 plus ASMR stuff or audios. I'm not doing that. That is not the content I want to create, nor do I feel comfortable creating that content. Other people might feel comfortable doing that content. I do not feel comfortable doing that content, so if anyone ever asks me to do that content, no. I'm fine with drawing 18 plus stuff. I'm not fine creating, like, you know, actually creating audio for that kind of stuff. Because, you know, to each their own at the end of the day, right? That's what I'll always say, to each their own. And that's kind of how I am with the situation at hand. On that. But I feel like, you know, there's some sort of thing for it, and I think I need to, like, look at it a little bit further of how the Patreon works. I feel like just Ko-Fi is a little bit more lax in a way of what you can create with people, whereas it seems like with Patreon, there's a little bit more of a demand, you know. And what I mean by, like, there seems to be, like, a little bit more of a demand, I just mean, like, in the sense of it just seems like more people demand more from you when you're on Patreon than if you're on, like, Ko-Fi and stuff. I don't know. Maybe if I get bigger and I'm able to have more money to where I can be able to have editors and stuff like that, I might be able to open it up. The problem is like, I need stuff taken off of my plate if I want to do anything further. Because right now, there is so much on my plate. Because I'm the only person working on my comic, and that takes up like 8 to 10 hours of my day. I literally do not have time off. During the week, only the comic. I just make the comic. I barely get any time to actually make other art for myself. And then I have to remember to clip and edit my stuff on the weekends. So literally right after stream, I have to clip and edit all my stuff. I have to upload it to YouTube. And then I have to set it all. And then I have to send that to my phone to be able to create TikToks. And then if I want to eventually possibly think about posting it on Twitter. And then I have to think about like other Twitter posts of what I want to promote or create or do anything with. And then I have to... And then again, once the weekend's over, oh, look at that. It's the weekday. Now I have to start working on the comic again. So I'm not dealing with any breaks here. That's why I'm just like, I need to start taking stuff off of my plate if I want to further expand into doing like Ko-Fi stuff or doing like Patreon stuff, or if I want to create a Patreon, like someone needs to take this shit and I need to give it to somebody else. Right now, I'm not making enough money to. I can't afford to do that. There's no way I can do it right now. I wish I could. But right now it's an impossibility. Okay. I'm like trying to think of how I kind of want to do this. Are they like transparent on this other side? I'll have to see about how we're going to create that transparent look on the other side for the hair. I mean, it's not that difficult to kind of cut in half a little bit. Let me just take this, put this over top here. Oh, I need to put it over top of everything. And then hold on. No. Right. I'm like trying to create these cracks and I don't understand. Ah. Oh yeah, her hair is transparent. Interesting. It's like her entire hair is transparent. I'm trying to like think about how to create it with transparency without it like... I have an idea. Because the problem is that this base is not transparent. Well, I could do it on here too. Or you know what? No. Just literally copy this. But the problem is that this would do it on everything. So hold on. Yeah, because then it would also do it there as well. That's not what I want. Hold on. I have to like redo everything. Nope. That's not really gonna work. I was like, oh, I could just bucket it. I'm like, nope, that's not gonna work in this situation. There we go. And now it should be partially transparent. There we go. Don't make transparent stuff. It's hard. It's hard with my new art style. Oh, my back. My back's been hurting so much. Da da da. Alright. I don't do line art on stuff, so you can't really tell what's happening with most stuff. So let me just call these, I guess, cracks. I don't really understand what they're supposed to be. Oh, I need to put gold. There's a lot of gold. You don't have any gold there, but you do have gold here. But I do want to know in a way, like, oh, I got messaged by like a bot, like saying like, hey, I want to be your editor and stuff like that, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm gonna be honest. All the things that I see with like people coming into DMs and stuff like that and saying like, hey, I see that you're doing this, this, and that. I'm like an editor or this or whatever, and I'm just like, no, thank you. If I want an editor, I will come and find you. In all seriousness, if I wanted to really have my stuff edited, one, I would be like, do I have the money to do it? Because the thing is what I'm not going to do is I am not going to be out here like demanding that you should edit my content at a discounted rate. I'm not going to be out here doing that. I'm going to pay whatever rate that you give me. Later. Bye, Pug. I'm going to pay whatever the rate is that you say that I have to pay. I'll be, you know, if you say like, this is my rate, cool, I'm paying that. Because I want you to be able to be paid adequately for what you do and your work, because that just seems, I don't know, like a given that people should do. So there is that. And hold on, let me see. There's metal. I think it's over here. It is over here. Because I just feel like that's like a little bit of a given situation that people should understand. Nope. Hate when it's like a gold thing that's like this. I think that's why they chose to do it this way instead. I mean, I guess the metal could work up here more. Yeah, no. I'm just gonna... Nope. Nope to that. And then... I'm like trying to think. She kind of doesn't have whites to her eyes. Oh. I mean, kind of, but not the way that we think. Da 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 da. I will say though, for the most part, probably with a Patreon, I might try and make like use it to ask, like, I guess, what topics do you guys want to talk about with like with stuff or things like that, you know? I'm not gonna follow it all the time, but and then I want that color. And black. Oh. Not add glow. No. I'm trying to like now finish these attacks, or at least one attack. And then take that one. Yeah, it's a black, isn't it? It's like an almost black. Da, 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 da. It's easier when you can color pick stuff. There we go. I will put the roses and all that sort of stuff on afterwards. But right now, I want to start shading. I'm gonna be honest, I'm so tired. Maybe I might just do this one, because I'm actually getting really tired. I talked so much, now I'm all tired. Ah. I'm like a baby girl. Ah. I don't know how. Wah. Wah. Just screaming like a baby goat. I'm so freaking tired all the time. That's how I feel. But then again, like, I had to actually work a little bit more on the comic, and afterwards, I have to still work on the comic today. Don't worry, I'm not working on it over the weekend. Thankfully, I'm taking the weekend at least off to not work on it. But I might work on other artwork. That's like one thing, is like, at least I'm trying to take like a break from working on it at some points. Because I'm gonna be honest, it's just a lot. I know I talk about the comic a lot, but it's like, you guys don't understand how much it takes to really make a comic, and a lot of people really don't talk about it. Oh great, ads are gonna start in a minute. I might just run a 3-minute ad to go and get some water and stuff like that. So I'm gonna actually do that. So I'm running an ad. I'll be right back. It is not time for more ads. They already suffered through 3 minutes that I pushed out. But hello, welcome, Opie. Ugh. I was like, I need to get up. I'm tired. It's already like 90 degrees in my office right now. Degrees Fahrenheit. Ew, why? Because I live in a desert, Opie. It gets hot. I have my fan on and I have water going, and yes, the AC is on. Is the humidity? Yeah, it's always dry. It's bone dry out here. Humidity? What's that? There isn't any. Honestly, it might be better with a little bit of humidity, because at least, you know, it might get you to sweat. But nah, out here, it sucks the moisture right out of you. Like a vampire. That's what the heat does to you out here. You are thirsty all the time. Even when you think you are not thirsty, you are thirsty. Okay, good. Sometimes up here it hits 100, but then the humidity is like 80%, and that point it feels like death. Oh my gosh. Does it feel like Satan's butt? I'm trying to be more sensor friendly to see if maybe my stuff gets pushed out. Yes! I have noticed when I curse less, I get pushed out into the algorithm on YouTube more. Which I'm just like, really? Let me curse! Interesting, yeah. Well, it's not interesting, it's just how YouTube is now. I will say, same with TikToks and YouTube Shorts. Exact same situation. I'm just like, why? But why though? Because it's like, I will say, if you're really big, it doesn't matter. You can start cursing. But like, if you're starting out, it seems like, no cursing. You can't curse on my Christian Minecraft server. My thought with Twitch versus YouTube is Twitch is more likely to allow more mature stuff and is therefore for older audience. YouTube is trying to reach out to youths. Yes! Even though that I want my community to mainly be made of over 18 plus, you know? I want it to be more than that, but then it's like on YouTube, I'm gonna be honest, it's mainly kids on there. And I'm just like, I don't think kids should be interacting with my stuff. But then it's like, but YouTube only pushes it out if it's more kid friendly. And I'm just like, no. That's why I also find it really weird that like, I can understand HoloLive being on there, like for YouTube content, but I'm gonna be honest, like the Avalon boys, some of Niti Sanji, like most of them are pretty 18 plus most of the time when they're talking about stuff. Like they try to keep it, you know, the Avalon boys are a little bit more, try to keep it a little bit like kind of medium, where it's kind of like adult and also for like more family friendly oriented. Like they try and keep it very much, but they're adults and they're making more for adult audiences. I'd say if you're a content creator, if you're an adult, you're mainly making for adult people unless you specifically are gearing your content to younger people, right? Like if you actively make that choice to make it geared towards younger people, then, you know, like that's fine. But, you know, that's a conscious choice. I can't get it right either way. They censor adult-based stuff way too much. But then you hang out in the kid part of YouTube and it sometimes really makes you wonder how certain things make it here. Yeah, that is correct too. There is some stuff within the children's sphere of YouTube that you kind of also question a little bit. Because it's like, how do they allow this for kids, but then they can't allow it for like other stuff? So there is very, very much questionable of how they go about it. And I think it's just, the internet is still a little bit of the wild, wild west. Like, even though, like, yes, it's been tamed a little bit, like, there is still some stuff that is a little bit wild, wild westy still. Especially when it comes to, like, you know, certain, especially with 18 plus content. Especially with 18 plus content and how that is perceived within that of content creation now, right? Because this is what I was talking about with, like, Patreon and stuff like that. Because I want to make more 18 plus content, but I can't put it on Ko-Fi because Ko-Fi doesn't allow it, and I want to put it on, but I want to put it on Patreon, but Patreon is more demanding because people like demand more stuff from you if you have a Patreon, and they want you to be making a lot more things for them, and I'm like, I at that point I'd be like running 2 different channels, right? And I'd just be like, that would be just too much. I'm still trying to figure out how to handle the digital realm. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think it's more of that situation than anything. Like, we're still out here trying to figure all that stuff out. We do our best, but we still can't. But yeah. But Obi, I got a question. If I had a Patreon and it had like full of 18 plus stuff, including male art as well with 18 plus stuff, would that be something that you might be interested in? The problem is, I don't know how much I want to, like, pay for it. The other thing is, too, I don't honestly know how Patreon works. I'm a Ko-Fi girly, you know? I know Ko-Fi and Patreon are basically built the same way, But I'm like, I feel like with Patreon, yes, if I had the money. Yeah, see, the thing is, like, I don't want to make my Patreon that expensive, because I've seen some Patreons that I'm just like, $100 a month to access this. I mean, like, I could ask for that if I was bigger, but like, yeah. I wish I was rich so I can buy and support all my friends' stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, but I will pay you. No, if I get bigger, I'll pay you so you can go support them. No, I'm joking. No, but I'm gonna be honest. It's just like, I've just been thinking about it because I'm just like, I'm starting to get to the point where I need more consistent streams of revenue, and it seems like for the most part, people use Ko-Fi to just like get donations, and then people use Patreon for what I'm using Ko-Fi for. You know? But the thing is, I feel like there's more demand to constantly be updating the Patreon. A lot more than anything else. Because, like, you have to pander to those people and be super exclusive, right? And I'm like, there are some points where I can't do that. Like, I can't constantly be at your beck and call in a way. It's like, I feel like that's the thing. The signs that Opie won the lottery. A lot of artists and VTubers suddenly get huge purchases and donations. I mean, yeah, I would do the same, because there's some people that I want to be able to support and I can't right now. That's the other thing is like, you know, I want to be able to do stuff and I can't because I don't have the power or the affordability to do it, you know? So I'm gonna be honest, if I could, I would just like, I would do like what Pirate Software does. I would start like literally handing out like gift subs to people so that then they don't have to watch ads. I would do that. If I got big enough to where I make enough money, like I would do that too. Because I think that that's really good. I think that's a good thing. Because then, like, you know, you're kind of like, I'm taking the money that Twitch is already giving me, and I'm making it so you don't have to watch ads. It's a win-win situation. And then no one will have to ever worry about ads again. And of course it would just be random. It's like whoever. It'd just be like, okay, these 200 people, alright, you guys all don't get ads for a single month. And then when I see that, hey, those ones have expired, then I'll just like do it again. I am so mad though. I have to work an 8-hour at the library tomorrow, so I won't be able to chill in streams. Sneakily watch though, I just can't. Aww. It's okay. Hey, I'm just, you know, one thing I'm glad about right now is like that I have built up my community enough to where like you guys are sneakily watching at work. That's how I know I've really made it. I love your Stardew streams. I also love your art streams. This is so fun and comfy. We got depressing earlier. So because we were talking about like people moving on with their lives and everything, and then I was like, I don't know if I don't know what next year holds in store for me. I missed it. Yeah, there was some juicy gossip. There was some juicy stuff that we were talking about. I feel that though. Yeah. Like I don't know I'm literally thinking next year, which this is so sad to think about, I might have to graduate. Not because I don't want to stop creating content, which is really sad. It's because I might have to really get a job, and I don't know if I'll be able to do a job, work on the comic, and do streaming. I don't know if I'll be able to do all of that, so I might need to graduate, which I don't want to do that. But it's like, if things don't really turn around and stuff, I don't know what's gonna really happen. You know, this economy demands so much just for us to live. Yeah, exactly. And it's really terrible, because again, I don't want to leave you guys. And that's why I'm like, either it's gonna be an indefinite hiatus, depending on how I do it. It's gonna either be like an indefinite hiatus, or like literally I might have to. And it's like, I want to debut my 2.0 next year, right? I want to do that. I want to grow with you guys. But it's like, right now, it's like really saddening, because like the only people, like all the bigger like VTubers and content creators that are out there, it's like there's not many. Like there's only a few that really blow up to create it, yeah. That, or just declare an yeah, that's why I was thinking just like indefinite hiatus for a time being. But the thing is, I don't want the problem is like a hiatus really can kill a career on Twitch. That's like the one problem. I typed that the moment you said it. Great minds think alike. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like if I do go on an indefinite hiatus, I'm gonna really just end up just killing my career. At that point, I just probably should have just graduated, right? So it's like, it's dealing with the consistency. And a lot of people were saying like, oh, well, a lot of people are graduating now. And I'm like, yeah, but do they want to? And most of them do not want to. They are faced with that. And I don't want to give you guys inconsistent streams, right? I don't want to do that. I don't want to be an inconsistent streamer. I want to give you guys some consistency. Most of the graduations I'm hearing about are forced. Yeah, it's very much a very forced situation that they can't do, and it's just very saddening. That's why I'm like, maybe I should open up a Patreon. Maybe the only George that I was talking about, maybe actually opening that up. But the problem is like, I have so much on my plate that I literally need somebody to help me. I need somebody. Only George. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, only. It's the OV. But like, the other thing is like, with the Patreon, I might just do that, you know? Just have it on there. Because it's funny. I could do that for the Patreon, just like for a few months, just doing that. The Patreon is just called Only George. Maybe that's what I should do. The Patreon is just Only George. It's just Only George. It's only stuff of George. Just Only George. Maybe I'll have a tier list that is for like, so most chaos, yes. Maybe that's what I'll do. Every month there'll be a new Only George picture. You get exclusive George content. Maybe I'll think about it, of how I want to do the tiers. Maybe we'll talk about it. We'll have a talk. We'll have a serious talk about it. Because I think it's just more of like I'm on the fence about doing it, because the thing is like then I'd have a Ko-Fi and a Patreon, so it's like, yeah. And the other thing is like but the thing is like the Only George content, I probably wouldn't stream it is the situation. Or maybe I might do 2 and I have one for stream that I make during stream and one that is only the Patreon sees. The problem is like, again, it takes me like a really long time to do art. So, but you know, George is very small. George is George, so like that's easier for me to do, right? And then maybe you guys, like I'm doing with Ko-Fi, you guys would get exclusive access to early pages of the comic. And I would say like for those tiers, what I might do is for just getting the Only George content, $1. $1 a month. You get Only George for $1. $5, you get Only George and comic stuff. $10, you not only get comic stuff and the Only George, but you also start getting access to exclusive like wallpapers and merch stuff that would include like the Only George. Seems reasonable. Like, yeah, I don't want it. I know that I cannot demand $100 from people a month. I know I can't demand that. $20, you get access to the 18+ stuff. Just to make it like a higher barrier of entry. Because it's like, parents are going to realize like once a month, $20. What the heck is $20 going to once a month if you're like not over the age of 18? And maybe with the $20, maybe I'll have like one. Nah, I won't do that one. I was gonna be like, oh, well, maybe I'll make like an exclusive Discord or something like that. And I'm like, okay, the one thing I don't want to do is make an exclusive Discord. And the reason being is because I don't go on Discord anyways. I'm very much an introverted person. I don't want to give that kind of like, that seems a little bit parasocial relationship to me. So I would say like you get an exclusive like title in the Discord, but you don't get like, you could get like a chat. Not like a voice chat. You get a chat. So all y'all can talk and stuff. And then we could like ask questions and stuff. And either it's going to be an exclusive Discord server or, well, I don't think a server because I don't want to create a whole new server. But it would be like a chat area. Right? I actually already have the Discord stuff for the chat area set up. And I would just change it from Ko-Fi memberships over to Patreon instead. So I'd get rid of the Ko-Fi stuff on Patreon, or I'd get kind of rid of the Ko-Fi stuff and just basically move it over to Patreon. Maybe I'll think about that. I'll think about that when I have like a break off, when I'm done with like chapter 3 or something like that. Maybe I'll think about it this weekend because I kind of want to set it up, and if I'm gonna set it up, I should set it up. If anything, I might just set it up, start adding stuff in there, and like, you know, give myself like a few months to already have like a lot of shit in there. So that then when people come on, there's already stuff there. And then maybe I'll have like the community vote on like what they want the 2 Only George themes to be. Because you can like vote and stuff on there. I gotta go into it. I gotta make an account and I gotta go in and see, because I haven't seen it from the back end. I've seen Ko-Fi from the back end, but I don't know about Patreon from the back end. I haven't seen that. I did look at Patreon's guidelines and all of that. I can draw NSFW work as long as like it's between like consenting adults. So that's fine. As long as like drawing stuff and all of that. So there might be like some stuff. But that's what I was thinking. But I think I do want to keep it relatively reasonable, except for the NSFW stuff, because I'm going to put it that at a higher barrier of entry. So it would go like $1, $5, $10, $20. But I've seen ones that are like $100. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Hello, Mello. Guess what? Is it chicken butt? Or is it D's nuts? Chicken. It's either one or the other. Also, I'm still amazed at how you're doing that comic. The fact that you're already at chapter 3 and doing it all on your own, insane. Thank you. Speaking of the comic, chapter 2 is out. Have you read it? I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it so much. Chapter 2 is so good. Wait for chapter 3. Chapter 3, where I'm trying to slowly introduce you guys kind of how the world and the characters are. I'm taking it, like, it started at a really fast pace, but now I'm kind of trying to slow it down so you guys have more moments between these characters. Because the main story focuses around the characters. Because again, it's a story about the characters, not really about the world and the magic and all of that. If I wanted to write about that, I would write a completely different story. Maybe on the Patreon you'll get cool little exclusive comics. Like little doodle comics. Like not really hardworking. I'm not there yet. Oh my gosh. Opie, I have 24 pages to do. Slow reader here. It's okay. We enjoy slow readers here. I'm a slow reader. I say as I can, because I can read 2 chapters, like from like a book, like an actual book. I can read 2 chapters in 30 minutes. Is that a slow reader? Is that the definition of a slow reader? Or is that fast? And yes, I have timed and measured it. Just so you're just weirdly enough, I'm a slow reader, not because I struggle, but because I savor it. Okay, I can understand that. Savor my drawings. I just see a possum just licking the screen of the comic. Yes. Opie, I need that drawn stat. No. Oh my gosh. Just the... On it? Oh my god, no, I was... Yeah, you can take a picture from the comic if you want. I'm okay with people like taking pictures of it. But maybe for the Patreon and stuff, what I might do is for maybe even for $5 too, I might make it that you can get wallpapers, like some wallpapers and phone screens. And then maybe for like the $10 one, or I might just make it 3 tiers, $1, $5, and $20, and $20 is all the NSFW. Because I want to make sure that you guys are getting like a good amount of stuff for like what you're, you know, what you're paying for. Because I know, like, I'm asking for a lot, you know? And I know that not everybody has it. And I'll say this much. If you can pay 1 month and you can't pay the next month, don't pay the next month. Because guess what? That stuff is still going to be up there the next month. I'm not going to delete anything off of there unless, like, I need to take it off of there. So everything's going to stay up there. So if you can only do a month, then you can only do a month. And then if like, hey, you can get it back again, then cool. Pay for that 1 month again. And be able to see all that content, whatever you want to see. And the new content you missed out on. That's one thing I'll say with the Patreon. If you can't pay for it every single month, don't try to. But yeah, I'll make the pay. Now that I'm like geared towards the only George for at least the $1, because that one I can do more stuff with. So just paying $1 a month, you can get so much, which might seem a little scammy. Like it might seem like a little bit like you're just like wasting stuff here. I'm like, I would draw you George for $1. Okay, George is not that difficult to draw. George is so easy to draw. I can draw George in anything, so it's easy. George is easy. I can pump George out in an hour. And the thing is like, if multiple people are paying into it for a month, it's like, it's not just $1. It's more than that. Because if 100 people pay $1, that's $100. He's so round. George is very round. So I guess this is me announcing that we're going to be making a Patreon. I'll write everything down that I want to get done and everything I need to get done for it. And I'll maybe around my birthday. So it gives me a few months to kind of start adding things to it. There will not be NSFW audios. Do not expect that. There's not going to be parasocial relationships. It's just me posting art and exclusive art stuff. And that's it. I have been wanting to make wallpapers, and I have been wanting to make phones, like, images around the comic. And of course, because the comic is a part of my lore, then yeah. Maybe you guys can vote on merchandise to make. Like, you know, we might have, like, more, like, polls and merchandise things. Like, you know, other art to do. Like, you guys could, like, figure out, like, hey, I don't know what art piece to do. What do we do? And then you guys can vote on that. So, you know, like, you guys can think about it. I don't have to think. I'll just let you guys choose. Let the masses pick for me. You guys just choose for me to just constantly make George all the time and be like, okay, we can't do another George. I'll say this much. If I ever make NSF, like, ASMR audio stuff, I'm just gonna have it be George whispering in your ear, and it's literally just the text-to-speech bot, and me just turning down the audio on it, and switching between if it's left or right ear. I'll do that on the $5 one, maybe. For $5, you get access to the George audios. George serenading you to sleep while as chaos happens in the background. It's just, you just hear screams and fire, and George is just like yeah, I'd make funny shit. That's my content. That's right up my alley. Of course, I can't do, like, a bunch of stuff, but, you know, I could do, like, the little minimal things, right? Now it's cemented more in my head. Once it gets some more cemented, now there's a possibility it will happen. But I've been thinking about it for like over a year now to open it up, to open it up. So there is that. I will say this much: most of the NSFW art or anything is going to be very much more like, I would say, art drawn without her clothes on and stuff, maybe some more suggestive work. And I would say if there's anything of actual, like, wrestling that happens, it will probably be more between the character art and Jose's character, just because I feel more comfortable drawing it, because he is my partner. So there will be, like, those things as well. I actually already have one drawn that is gonna be going up there. What the heck? Okay. So, yeah, Look, I have to be more family friendly now for YouTube, so I have to say wrestling instead of the other word. You know what I mean. Wrestling. Oh my god. Yeah. I will say the one thing though. Lore says no family friendly. Okay, right. Alright. You want no more family friendly? Fuck. Shit. Bitch. There you go. That's how we do it here, folks. Oh, I'm laughing so much. My insides hurt. Oh, no, we're on the darker shade, that's why. There we go. Wait, guys. So, do you want to know what mainly prompted me thinking about the Patreon again? I'm not even joking. What made me think about the Patreon is there's a mousy clip of her watching Shoto and Kuro Kuro looks at Shoto's Patreon. And if anyone knows Shoto, we all know what's in his Patreon. We don't even have to. I'm like not surprised what's in there. Let's just say he has very extreme, like 18+ audio if you are interested. I don't know how much it is, but it's probably a big amount in order to get into it there. But yeah. So no surprise, but like Mousy was like, which is Iron Mouse, she just goes, what? And she's like, wait, is this real? And I'm like, I know it's real. I know 100% that is totally 100% real. And so she goes in and then she calls Shoto and literally asks him about the Patreon. And when she gets to asking him about a certain Patreon, certain audio, he's like, oh no, I'm out of here. Nope, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest, if I was Shoto, like, I would get secondhand embarrassment too, just because, like, I wouldn't want anybody. I will say this much, if somebody found the Only George and then sees my NSFW work and clicks on that stuff, my mother would be so disappointed in me. Then she already is, okay? So let me just preface that. Then she already is. The NSF work I want to create for like the Patreon and stuff like that would 100% like be like that. So I think that gives you a little bit of an understanding of maybe what could be in the Patreon. The problem is I have to be careful because it has to be looking like as if it's consensual, which is like one thing that I do not like. Oh!
I'm sure it's not that noticeable.
That was super delayed! Why was that so delayed?
Alright.
You like my shiny baldness? Like my shiny head? Excuse me! Why'd you take my body too? I need that. So shiny. Shiny. All I'm thinking about now is the song Shiny from Moana. Shiny. That's the only song I'm thinking about right now. Beautiful. Oh my god. At least some people appreciate my shiny head. Other people think that it's weird. And I'm like, why? I made it so shiny for you guys. I work hard to make this head nice and shiny for you. Thank you. I actually did just save. Right when you redeemed it, I will send them to Jesus. I will send them to Jesus. And thank you for the stretch. I'm gonna be honest, I think we're only gonna be able to complete this one art piece today. We've been talking so much. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Hey, if we finish one art piece, that's good for me. Because I think I've done 11. I need to check how many art pieces I've actually done for this. I think I've done like a pretty good amount this year, which I think I'm satisfied with. Oh, my hair. Thank you. My hair. It's found itself. It has returned back to my cranium. Da-da-da-da. But we were just talking about making a Patreon. Because I'm gonna be honest, like, Ko-Fi is great and everything, but there's, like, it's pretty dead on there, honestly. Because people just make one-time payments on there compared to, like, you know, actually joining, like, any memberships or stuff like that. So, I'm just gonna remove the memberships off of Ko-Fi, do it only through Patreon. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. But it'll be reasonable. I'm not gonna be asking for like $300. I literally have looked at some people's Patreons, and I literally just go, people actually like pay that much? I will say this much: if I get big enough, there might be some that, like, you know, some that I might increase in price, but there's some that I will not. Like the Only George, like, section, the $1 section, I'm not gonna remove that. Now, I'm never gonna remove that $1 from being $1. Same probably with the $5 one. The NSFW, or like if I want to add anything else, that one might increase in price, depending on demand for it. But the other stuff, I'm gonna keep that as low as possible. The other thing is, too, is that with a Patreon, I might be able to finally supplement into possibly moving to actually having physical merch to where I can, like, send out stickers and stuff. But I don't know, because again, like, I'm doing all this by myself, and I don't want to put more stuff on my plate. Because the more stuff you put on your plate, the more you have to do shit, and the more you don't sleep. Sleep is for the wicked. Most of the time I'm just like, sleep? What's that? I go to bed at 12 o'clock. Okay, some people might be like, that's a little early, but look. I'm running on only, like, basically 5 hours of sleep here. Actually, yesterday I didn't go to bed until 1. Don't ask me why. Look, I wanted to play Stardew, okay? I wanted to play Stardew! And then I read before I sleep. So I was in bed at midnight, but then I wanted to read, so I didn't go to bed until 1 o'clock. At least I read. Like the nerd I am. Da-da-da-da-da. Gonna remove that and remove that. Okay, remember how last time I said that those were the best boobs I've ever made? This one's better because I actually have the boob, the squish. I was able to do the squish That's something I've never been able to do before. Look, I'm preparing for the I'm preparing for the Patreon. No, I'm joking. Oop, that is not the right brush. But I hope that you enjoy the squish. There we go. There we go. I'm like trying to see where it needs to kind of be smoothed a little bit more. There we go. I'm like trying to think of everything. Da 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 da. Oh, ads are gonna start if anybody wants to play some ads. Either they're gonna automatically, or you can push the list suffer button, so that everyone must have to endure. They must steadfast through it. You must be steadfast, my children. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sorry that my voice is sounding really raspy. I'm just like, I am so tired. I'm tired from yesterday. I hung out with a friend of mine who is going to be soon moving. She literally, I picked her up and she was like, "Oh, I have something to tell you. I'm moving." What the fuck? So that was a big drop. She's moving to the East Coast. I'll tell you about it after the ads play. Ow. Da 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 da. Now I need to add the flowers. Huh? No ads. Maybe because you ran a 3-minute... Weird, because it's telling me that an ad is supposed to be starting. It says ad starting soon. And then it's like... I'm like, okay, start it. There you go. I'm gonna just work on making the flowers here. There we go. There we go. The ads started playing for her. There's the ad. The ads are so weird on here. Is it vegetation or is it flower? Is it? Yeah, it is in flower. Ah. Okay, these need to switch. Sometimes I can still. Oh, oh, poor little. Poor little possum, out on all her lonesome. Wait, I just remembered I have Prime. Ow! Oh my gosh, that fucking scared me. Yeah, Prime for the win. I'm trying to remember. Remember how the Twitch integrated throwing system was broken last time? It broke again. So, oh my gosh, yes, you can do the George dancing, you can do the George lick, you can do all of that, and you get access to the badge. I will tell you this much, whatever money that I get from Patreon sometimes, maybe I might take that, because currently I'm not making a whole bunch for Twitch. I might take it and make it equivalent to some subs, so that then I can give out some free subs to people. So that then people don't have to get them. Yeah, I got those emotes, boys! The other thing is that if I give out subs and stuff like that, I could be able to possibly get myself up to accessing more emote slots. Because now I think we get... I think you get like a lot more. Because now it's based off of subs. Like sub points. It's not based off of if you're a partner. But I think there is a limit. I think it's like 20. You can get up to 20. We're at 11. Or no, we're at 13. for static emotes. For animated emotes, we're at 12. We have a lot of animated emotes. We have so many emotes, man. It's baffling. Nope. Nope, that was the correct one that I needed. Oop. No, I don't like if it's see-through or not. I kind of want to arrange these in like a way that it looks like a little bit like a crown. And then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna do it on these. I got to say, the art fight is coming along very nicely. Don't wear yourself out though. I can't imagine doing art in such heat. Yeah, I know. I think I was gonna work on this one, but you know what? Maybe I'll save this for next year. I'll rethink of this character, so I won't use this art piece. I'll redo it because I kind of don't like how this is turning out. So I'll basically do that character, but I'll redraw the entire thing. Like, I'll have a new thing and everything. That's how I'll do it for 2025. And it's okay if we finish one. This is the last one that we're doing for the year. So yeah. But it is coming out very nicely. Because I will say, like, I don't have to do, like, a high quality or whatever. The reason I'm doing it with this higher quality is just because I want to have... Technically, I'm using these as a way to show the art that I can do at my disposal for when I open up commissions and things. So I can literally have more examples. Because I do a lot of full body stuff. I don't know if you've realized that. I'm doing like a lot more full body, but I don't have much of like busts or half body that I do, right? Like this, I would claim more as a bust piece than a half body. Even though that it goes this low, it's even still, it's really more of a half body piece. Like, you understand, like, what I'm trying to say? I like how I'm using this to talk. I'm talking to you. Sorry. No, I don't like this. I do the same. The cursor becomes my hands if you talk with your hands a lot. Yes! I do talk with my hands a lot. I talk with my hands all the time. That's why I was thinking if I ever do, I might switch back to doing 3D. It's just more expensive to have a 3D model. But I might want to go back to doing 3D because then I could be able to talk with my hands. Unless I do more ham cam content. Ham cam, yes, we gotta get a ham cam. Hand cam. Actually, I do have something to do hand cam content with. I just haven't set it up. It's just too hot. It's just too hot to do it. And you might be wondering, what ham cam content do we have? The hand cam content that I have at my disposal right now is for a book nook and putting it together. But the thing is unlike a book nook, like I need to have probably a wider area to like show it off than to like I need like a setup of it looking down but from a height because I can't do it from like how I did it. Heck yeah, I love those streams. I do want to do more hand cam stuff. I waited to do that too. Yeah, I need like a better camera setup. That's the problem. Like if I'm gonna do it like that, I'm gonna need like an actual like hand camera, you know. That's the issue. But like I want to do like, okay, I'm gonna be honest here. I want to do some I might for like a charity stream or something do a Gundam, like building a Gundam, which I would probably never do again. And the reason I say I want to do for a charity stream is just because it's something I wouldn't do for normal content, because I look at those Gundam models and everything and I just go ugh. And the thing is, like, basically I can't, you know, and we'll make like spin it, and then it's like I have to like do different stuff like while I'm building it, like, you know, I can only follow whatever the chat tells me. So if like the chat tells me to do something, then I have to do it. And I do it probably on a Gundam that's like real, like a Gundam nobody would care about. Cause I'm probably gonna do stuff that might It'll piss off the Gundam community a little bit, but the thing is, I'm not a person that collects it. But we might do like some things of like, you now have to start building it like blindfolded. What did I walk into? I want to build a Gundam for a charity stream at one point with a hand cam. And like, you know, I have to, and we would have, oh my gosh. And I was gonna say, we're gonna have some, oh.
I'm sure it's not that noticeable.
All right.
And I was saying how, I'm trying to remember. I was gonna have like a punishment wheel or something like that. So like for every few subs, like for a sub, like I have to spin the wheel, and while I'm building the Gundam, it'll be like something to do with the Gundam, right? I was 6.5. I mean, isn't that what Pokemon Go is supposed to make you do, though? That's the whole entire point of Pokemon Go, Jose. That is the reason it was made. Was to get you to walk. Nice, exactly. Yeah, see, exactly. What is... Does this just not have... Oh, it just doesn't. That's funny. Also, my headset is screaming at me, meaning that it definitely is probably time for me to be calling it quits here. So let me just turn off this. I actually want to move her over a little bit more, but we're gonna actually leave her as that. Okay, and then let's do some background, like minimal background work. Sometimes I would walk to school by choice in college from the train station and back. Was it a choice though? No, checking. Yeah, I used to take the bus. Oh my gosh, transit out here is absolutely horrible. Let me just preface that. Transit out here is absolutely freaking horrible. So, I would have to wake up 2 hours earlier in order to get on the bus. And sometimes in university, I would have like an 8 o'clock class. So I'd have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I need to be ready, you know? So I have an hour to get ready and then be at the bus at 6. So I have 2 hours to get to an 8 o'clock class. Hobie's face. Look. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? And that was for, I believe, my first and second year. I would walk 3-4 miles a day when I met Art. I was at peak physical condition as an adult when we... I know it. I know though. I had to do that at community. Oh my gosh, yeah. The funny thing is that technically the university was close to me because it was actually like, close is a strong word. It was like an hour away, right? So at least it was like, but that's normal driving. Normal driving, it was an hour away, right? With me in a car, it's like an hour away. With the bus, it was 2 hours. I had to take a, I'm trying to think. The only other time I peed physically was when I was doing karate and PE for summer school. Bro, I'd love to do karate, but also at the same time, I feel like I would suck at it. This is why. Yeah, but like, Here, now you can kind of see like what I do with overlays and stuff like that. Kind of want to close off this area a little bit, bring more attention to the face. That was almost 80 pounds. Oh my gosh. No, not that. I just want to walk around as an excuse to move. Yeah. It is very hard for me to move around a lot more. Ooh, oh right. I forget that I can't use that. I can't use that color. And then I kind of want to render, like, blend it out a little bit more. There we go. And then another thing of overlay I want to add. I do miss living. Yeah, I don't mind walking everywhere. Actually, I can walk to the grocery store, but the problem is like a lot of the stuff that I usually pick up every week is really, really heavy, and I cannot carry that heaviness back. If I had like a backpack or like something built for being able to go there and then just putting it in the pack and then walking home, like I could do that. But the grocery store is like literally within walking distance. But it's so hot that it's like, that's not good. What is this? I miss playing Pokemon Go before the dark. Wait, what were the dark times? Excuse me? Oh yeah, you did. This man, he was like, I got this, and he walked out there and he did it. Oh, I found where the Arizona iced tea was, because he was trying to do that. So Mega, oh, before, oh, those dark times. Yeah, I understand now. The dark times. Sorry, I think I just find it, I don't know why I find it funny when someone says the dark times. Let's do overlay. Oh, pick the overlay. Nope. There we go. Just add in that little bit more character touch.
Mother, your man requires Riz. His feet hurty and he worked 5 overtime hours this paycheck, and likely another overtime hour tonight.
Jose, aren't you working towards a 4-day work week? Do. Yes, but it doesn't take effect until 24th. You excited to only be working 4 days? And that's so great. And then... No, we need a new one. No. There we go. Wait. I got you? What? I'm confused.
Jose is the most amazing man. Super strong and wonderful. He can work such long hours in sometimes crappy work conditions, yet still does it with love for his dearest heart.
You know what? You're pretty accurate there. I actually need to excuse me. Are you go see? Yes, that. Excuse me. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is the prettiest art fight I've done so far. The work conditions aren't that crappy. Just yeah, working in a casino is hard. That's hard work. But anyways, same difference. Stretch. Thank you for the stretch. Actually, I was thinking about getting up and stretching, but I think we're going to end it off here. Maybe we'll talk a little bit after stream. How about that, everyone? I agree. That's really pretty. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't do heterochromia very much with certain characters, so it was nice to do it. New redeems? Yeah, we got new redeems. Hi, Fox. Yeah, we got a bunch of new stuff if you want to try it out. Some of it is reorganized. Other stuff is like newer redeems. But before I do anything, we're gonna actually export this out, and you get to see kind of how I do stuff. Cause on ArtFight, oh no, 50 for this. It's 100 for the other one. Because on ArtFight, you have to make a thumbnail for the thing, and I have to separate that into something else. Wait, excuse... Who? What? Why? Why do they hate your eyebrows? Excuse me? I think that your eyebrows are adorable, Jose. You have really nice eyebrows. That sounds so weird. I don't know why he said it like that. Oh, B, I love your emotes. They're so cute. Oh, baby. I like Lord. I like to chew on them. Excuse. Okay, I don't think I could say I would like to chew on them, but I will say that they are very nice. You want to know what I did as a cheat?
So what happened was Jose was at table 69. Nice. The casino was closing the table and Jose had to call a lead to help carry the money to be put away. As he was calling, this lead named Luna was walking by and Jose raised his eyebrows as a "What's up?" when he said the word 69, giving Luna mixed signals.
Jose, you can't just say "What's up?" at table 69. What the fuck? You can't just say that at table 69, man. It gives people some weird indications, you know? Oh my gosh. Of course this man out here would do that. There you go. No, I raised my eyebrows as we made eye contact as I said 69 on the radio. Oh my god. Don't do that. Putting the year on the... yeah, I started doing this so that then I know which one I've done for 2024, right? I also have the entire ArtFight in year folders. So I have 2024 and then it's going to be 2025 and 20. So I already know what art I've done for those years. Actually, let me look in that folder right now, cuz how many art pieces have I done for this month alone? These are just from the attacks folder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Luna said
6,
he'd meet
7.
Jose at the parking lot after work, so Jose asked if it's a threat or a promise.
7, 8. I have done 9 attacks this year. Which I don't even care that I've done 9. I just care that I've done even 1, you know? So without any further ado, we're gonna switch quickly over to yeah. Nice, yeah, I got 9 done. I mean, I was trying to aim for 10, but it's okay.
He wanted to say Luna can't afford him or that he doesn't swing that way, but Asup was watching.
Jose! Jose, you cannot be doing this shit. Hold on a minute. I gotta move some stuff around, so I gotta move my drawing tablet away because I just wanna put it over here. Cause I might do some more sketching of chapter 2 of the comic. Which, by the way, chapter 2 is now available. I totally almost didn't, almost didn't not, like, post it and everything. I'm so sorry. What are you laughing about? If I get sent to HR, I'm giving HR a damn good reason. You better give them a damn good reason, or else why the point are you getting to go to HR? Oh my gosh. But yeah. But if you go onto my website, that's either linked in, either by doing command comic or anything like that, you will see chapter 2, Luthador, that is up. Luna's show, he just likes to talk shit. Yeah. But, I will say, though, the next chapter is it may have to be pushed back. I pushed it to August 30th. I was gonna have it be the 23rd, but it seems like I might have to push it back to the 30th because it is 24 chapters long for chapter 3. But we are at 3 chapters already, with the prologue, chapter 1, and chapter 2 already available for you to read right now. But yeah, I will say this chapter in particular, if I tried to post this up on Webtoon, it would have to be heavily censored. And the reason I say that is because of the first frickin' page of chapter 2.
Don't forget to subscribe to my Only Frogs. You can see pictures of me in very tantalizing poses and subject matters. Only $1 million a monthly subscription.
No, it's $1, George. It will be $1. Actually, let me look at Patreon right now. Okay. Why does Patreon say for musical artists? What the fuck? Okay, so I do want to make a Patreon that we're basically going to use as an Only George a little bit. Oh my gosh, what the heck is with... What is with this? That we're basically gonna use as this. What is this? Oh, why the fuck do they have a pricing thing? I'm literally looking at the website because I was looking at the chapter and I was like, wait a minute. Hold on, let me see. Powerful core features. Hold on. I want to look at the pricing things. I don't know what this is, so hold on a minute. Here, I want to see this. Powerful. Oh my god, I hate this website already. Patreon, what the heck is this website?
For a charity stream or subathon for gifted subs, and we make Jose sign up for Grindr.
You said it, not me! I'm clipping that for later! That's evidence! You heard it here first, folks! He's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! For evidence! I'm holding it up to you! Let me see. You get instant access to powerful free features. What is this? Multimedia publishing? That's not really... Okay. Native video and previews. I guess...
1,000 subs and he posts on Feet Finder.
1,000 subs he posts on Feet Finder. I like how it's just your stuff. Here, let me see. Core set of tools. Wait. So signing up is free, but if I want this... Oh, okay. So I'm looking at Patreon because I want to like look at Patreon a little bit because I think a lot of people probably are going to be looking at Patreon. So the thing is, why I kind of only want to do Patreon compared to possibly doing Ko-Fi is just because I can't post the NSFW work that I want to. But with Ko-Fi, you only, there is like a slight portion that Ko-Fi takes in order to pay you. For memberships, it is a flat like $4.50 a month that you have to pay. It's not a percentage, it's just a flat fee. Patreon, on the other hand, takes 8% of the income. So let's say if let's do some math. Let's do some math. Let me pull up my calculator. There you go. So let's say if I set up the Only George tier for $1, if I divide that by 0.08%. Oh, wait. No, I have to multiply. Sorry, wrong one. It's multiply. Sorry, 0.00. I forget how to do this. That means that's disgustingly a lot. It is. That means that from that $1, they basically take 8 cents to every dollar from that one. But it's not the dollar. It is the income. Meaning, let's say 100 people sign up for the $1 Patreon. That's $100. So instead of getting the $100, I get only 8. I know, I don't get 8. Patreon takes $8 of that 100. And if you keep increasing that, that's more and more. So like, again, like, let's say like, you know, let's get a more specific. 523 people sign up, right? Because you have to do $1, right? It's $1. It's $1. Multiply that by the percentage. They take from that $523, $41.84.
Jose wants the Monty Python Magic the Gathering collab.
The thing is, you can sign up for Patreon for free, but when you start making money from Patreon, they start putting this 8%. Now, let's say that you want to put merch, right? Merch up there for exclusive merch for members, right? You can even get a dedicated manager. Instead of 8%, Now it's 12%. Do you see the situation here with Patreon in particular of why maybe this isn't so good? Patreon is fine if you're making already a big income.
Sadly, no holy hand grenade card.
Yeah, so Patreon I think is good if you're already bigger, because these percentages will not matter to you because you're making money from elsewhere, right? For me, this is why I don't want to do this. Let me look at Subscribestar. Some people were saying Subscribestar was better. Subscribestar. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Successful stories, I don't really care. Wait, let me see. Can I only do for one? Can I do multiple? Let me see. You are in control here. The revenue will depend on the number of subscribers you have. Okay. Oh, this is just like literally help showing like how much you would make. Let me see. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me pull up my calculator. How much is that? Let me clear this. 5 plus 2.9. Subscribestar is no better. Subscribestar also does 8%. They're trying to show you that it's not. But Subscribestar is no better. Some people were saying that Subscribestar was better because of the situation that Patreon was going to get rid of you being able to have access. Interesting. It does say here, though, is earn more with Droop, our partner for accepting micropayments. Basically saying, hey, use this thing so that then people can get other stuff off. So it's basically telling you, go to this thing in order to get more stuff. Hey, yo, there's an animated dungeon maps on here. that has a thing. I'm gonna be honest, Subscribestar and Patreon and Ko-Fi, there are different things to them. I would say Subscribestar lets you have a little bit more freedom with stuff to be able to kind of post a little bit about what you want with within like not safe for work content. But Patreon rolled back on their things that they were going to do. So, hear me out. We make custom D&D map / scenery art. I need the brushes to do that, but yeah, I do want to. I have been thinking about possibly doing that. I actually have some brushes to do that, but I just suck at drawing maps. I don't understand how geography and map making works in order to make a feasibly good looking map. We call it only maps. Oh my gosh. I will say this much. I kind of hate the scrolling aspect on here. So yeah, paid membership. Choose the plan that's right for you and only pay based on what you earn. Basically, the one thing about this 8% thing is that, let's say that you have no subscribers 1 month. Like, you have no subscribers. You don't have to pay that 8%. It's only based on what you make. I too hate the scrolling aspect. I mean, what? But yeah. Oh, this is the membership pricing. Okay, let me see. Payments, let me see. Trusted payments provider, multi-payment methods. Okay, so basically this is saying like, hey, we're pretty good. It's okay. I will say the one thing is that Subscribe Star is fairly new, so there might be some things about you don't know. But there are some success stories. So it looks like Subscribe Star is also pretty good. But the problem is like, you don't want to string people out, you know? You don't want to have them going to multiple different places. And even I'm just like, I have to go through and see what I want to cut out, right? Because because if I label it all, we have Ko-Fi, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Kara, which is basically for art mainly, my website, right? We have, and then, like, if I want to do, like, Webtoon, and we would have that. So, like, already, we're getting up to, like, 7, right? We're getting up pretty high with the amount of social media that I need to, like, keep in contact with. And then it's, like, on top of that, you add the Patreon with the Ko-Fi, with all of that sort of stuff. You're adding a lot of stuff that really doesn't need to be there, right? So you're going into a direction of stringing people in too many directions. But like everyone knows Patreon, so that's like the one thing that you could have, and you have that support. Like people already know Patreon is good and Patreon is solid. So there is that. People have more of a I'm trying to think. People have more I literally am blanking on the word. I think respect or brand recognition. Yeah, that works too. I think that wasn't the word I was looking for, but that's close enough. But yeah. So I think but yeah, people like have more of like an understanding about what Patreon is. But I think also with that, you have to be like really careful because again, like I'm not a bigger content creator. I can't like be pumping out a bunch of stuff. I'm a smaller content creator. I'm not going to have like a bunch of stuff on there, right? But I will say one thing that I kind of want to do and maybe start working towards is eventually doing video essays. Because I think video essays are really cool because it gives me an outlet to talk about random ass shit that I want to talk about. Like, I want to talk about the history of video games and how it affects video games now. I want to also talk about, like, you know, and especially, I don't know if you guys know this, there is a SAG-AFTRA strike happening for the video game industry. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit. The SAG-AFTRA strike for video games literally is saying it is okay to still play video games. Yeah, it's like it's okay to still play like your favorite games, just like so because like, you know, at the end of the day they don't want to take away from like other people that are still working on that game or like furthering it. They're just more of like just like be here by our side and maybe like don't buy any like newer games from bigger companies, right? That's what I would do. I kind of I only play indie games anyways, so it doesn't affect me. I'm playing Stardew tomorrow, and then we're playing Tiny Glade on Sunday, so what's the difference? Anywho, I know who we're rating, by the way. I got it all up, but if we do a Patreon, I'll release it around my birthday, which is in November. Maybe I'll have, like, I don't know, some birthday art up there or something, you know? So, I'll have some for the George, and I'll have some for maybe NSFW work as well. just for fun. And I just slowly realized I still haven't rigged my birthday outfit. I have to do that. I have to take a moment or a week to do that. I literally need to give myself like a few days to do that, honestly. You know what? No, I was like thinking, maybe I could rig it on stream, but I'm like, no, that ruins the surprise. Oh no, my pen. My drawing pen. Oh no. What's it, Daisy? But yeah. So I'll think about it, and see where I want to kind of go with it. I might talk about it with Jose a little bit just to like further solidify it, because sometimes I just need to talk about it in order for me to understand like what I want to do. But without any further ado, Jose, can we get the raid message going, please? While I get the raid going. Thank you. Thank you. Huh? I'm like half asleep. It's okay. We'll talk about Patreon stuff like maybe when we play Baldur's Gate on Sunday. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Alright, everyone grab the raid message. I'm gonna start the raid. There you go. But yeah, so speaking about birthday stuff, because that's coming up. We will be doing a small birthday subathon just during it. I only do subathons for birthday and anniversary. If I do another one, it'll probably be for another event, right? So those are the only times that I do subathons. I do have a plan for this subathon as well. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for joining, Opie. I will see you tomorrow for Stardew. I will see all of you for Stardew tomorrow. Do not make me stream 6 hours of Stardew. I have to clip shit. I have to edit that stuff.
Jose Mpreg announcement subathon.
We'll see about that. I might put that as an art piece that we have to do. But anyway. Jose, you did this to yourself. It's already there. It's already said. It'll be put. Don't know. Anyways, as I always say, without any further ado, may the winds guide you. Until next time, goodbye, everybody. You can't shoot me if I'm gone. Goodbye.